This is the homeroom introductory video for Mr. Eichley. You can see down here in the lower left-hand corner, those are the three classes I teach. I have your son or daughter for one of those three. Fortunately, this year I've had a lot of them before for other classes, and I'm glad to have them back this year. So the first couple slides will be just general information, and then I'll have a couple slides on each one of these classes. You don't have to listen to the whole thing if you don't want to. You can just find the slide for the class that I have your son or daughter in. A lot of the stuff is the same, so there's no harm in listening to more, and there's also no harm in just listening to the first one. So here we go. The first thing I'll say is there's my email address. Pretty simple, same one as everyone, arrowheadschools.org. You can give me a call if you want to. I will call you back, but I'm not going to call back, or I'm not going to really do much with you until I've talked to your son or daughter first. So if there's an issue, issue sounds bad. If there's a simple question, something that they're confused about, have them talk to me first. And by talk to me, I don't just mean email me. Because we can email back 10, 20 times. Your son or daughter, and I, or even you and I. It's just faster if we talk about it. So if they have a question, just come talk to me. No one's ever gotten hurt talking to me. So have them come talk to me. Have them ask me a question. If I can't explain it, then we can try emailing back and forth. But have them talk to me first. All right, this is my 28th year at Arrowhead. I've taught, I think, 6 or 7 different social studies classes. The ones I have now, I've taught, recently. AP European History, I've taught for, I think, 20, 25 years, something like that now. The last little fact I'll add right here is the online stuff. I definitely prefer face-to-face, and the students that are at home learning, I hope it's working out for them. But I was teaching summer school online before anybody even heard of COVID-19. So I'm not saying I'm absolutely perfect at it, but I definitely think I have an idea of what works and what doesn't. And I'm trying to make the online, the virtual stuff as much like the real class as possible. So that might be a little bit harder for the students at home, but I'm trying to give them the same kind of experience. All right, here are the periods I teach. You can just read that yourself. The third, fourth hour is a team taught. So Mr. Gierach teaches the English, and I teach the Western Civ. It is an enriched class, so there's a little bit higher expectations. And then down here on the bottom, my AP classes are 60 minutes. So 6, 7, it starts in the middle of 6 and goes all of 7. And then my 8, 9 is all of 8th hour and the first half of 9th hour. So the students in 6, 7 have an extra long lunch or an extra 20-minute study hall before class, and then the 9th hour people have a 20-minute study hall after I'm done with them 9th hour. Sometimes they take another AP and have a 10-minute break and go to that. So these are the periods I teach. I travel 5th hour. So I go to North for AP European History. I travel 5th hour. I eat lunch 6th hour, and then the 10th hour is when I have most of my free time. So if you email me in the morning after I've talked to your son or daughter about whatever questions they might have, it's usually not going to be till the end of the day that I can get back to you. I will try earlier, but as you can see by the schedule, that's when I have the most time, at the end of the day. All right, so here's my objectives for teaching history, and this has never changed. This is why I started teaching history. This is my junior year in high school back in 1984. I decided I wanted to be a history teacher, and the first 3 objectives have never changed. I want the students, your son or daughter, when they leave, to love history. I want them to like what I talk about. I want them to like the class. I want them to come to class every day and be ready to learn because it's fun. It's not just taking notes and memorizing dates. There's a lot of stuff in there they find pretty interesting. That actually takes me to point number 2. Obviously, everything we have today started a long time ago. And I want them to understand where these things come from. So I try to connect today to the past every chance I possibly get. And I think that makes it more interesting, and it definitely makes it more relevant. The do history part is things like political cartoons and analyzing sources, and they read books hopefully, but they also check out other things that they think are kind of interesting. Maybe you take a family vacation and they see something. It's pictures, it's paintings, it's cartoons, it's readings, it's writings. So doing history is more than just reading their textbook and taking a bunch of notes. And for the AP people, I definitely want them to pass the test. You can see getting an A on here is not in my top 4. Doesn't mean I don't care about that, and I give your son or daughter this speech right away the second day of school. I will help them get an A. If they're ready to work for it and they're going to do what it takes to get an A, because that's important to a lot of people, I support that 100%. So even though it's not important to me that they get an A, I know it's important to them, so I help them get an A if they're willing to work for it. And you got to understand, when it comes to getting an A, you can work really, really hard and still be a B student. You've got to figure out how to do A work. You've got to figure out how to pass tests. You start off slow, you're going to be fine. You don't do your homework. You turn homework in late. You don't do it very well. You're not an A student. So I'm all for helping them get A's if they're willing to work for it. It's something they can earn with a little bit of effort. It's not top on my priority list, but I definitely know how important it is to other people. All right, then just a couple of slides on each of my classes. You can see the first semester in U.S. history. We're going to start in the Civil War. This is the third week of school. We're just about to wrap it up in a day or two and move on to Reconstruction. Our tests are going to be a variety of different things, multiple choice, all the kind of stuff there. I give a lot of, write a paragraph or take a small quiz or discussion grades. So the grading is 70% summative and 30% formative, and the formative is more the practice stuff. The formative is really important. Kids that do well on the formative, or at least work on the practice, do better on the summative. Discussions and participating in class, I don't mean just answering a question here and there. I mean, I give them something to think about. I give them something to read, and answering questions on it is key to all of that. All right. Western Civ uses the same summative, formative kind of breakdown. The difference here is we do 4 units a year, and these units are by theme. So in the course of the year, we will go from ancient civilizations like the ancient Roman picture I got right here, all the way through some 1940s and 50s, World War II, 1940s kind of stuff, maybe into the 50s. We're not going to cover every single detail because we're doing it by theme, but it will make sense. They won't get messed up by the chronological part. I have ways of making sure they understand all of that. This is enriched. This is harder than regular, or at least it's supposed to be harder than regular. So the writing, the analysis, the discussion has to be better than what I get in my normal U.S. history classes, and I get some pretty good stuff in my normal U.S. history classes. So the expectation was, when they signed up for this, it's supposed to be explained to them this way, this is a little bit of work. It's a little bit more effort. You got to be good at the same stuff that other people are at, just work a little bit harder at it. So Mr. Gierock and I teach 3rd and 4th hour together. The advantage to being here is it is challenging. I think that's good in education. And it's also doing work, 1 assignment for 2 teachers. If you write a paper, I'll grade the content. Mr. Gierock will grade the structure. When you're doing research, for me, it's also research for his topics. The books that you read in English, I will talk about the history in Western Civ. So we can expect more from them because there's half the assignments for 2 teachers, and they can do even better work because of that. Lastly, AP European History. We start with the Renaissance, which is around 1450. We actually review a little bit of the Dark Ages before that, and we get all the way up to 2000. Unlike the other classes, this is 90% summative and 10% formative, meaning you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta get it figured out. You gotta get it done. I still do practice. I don't even grade all the practice stuff. This last 2 weeks alone, this is the 3rd week, we've already done practice short answer questions, practice multiple choice questions, and we've worked on document-based question stuff. So I will give them tons and tons of practice. I will cover, this is the most important point, I should bold this or something. I will cover everything that needs to be covered. I will give them practice at everything they need to know how to do. They're still going to have to do work. They're still going to have to put effort into it. I don't mean they got to read things I didn't talk about. I'm not going to say, well, I'm skipping this unit, you figure it out. I will cover it. But if you're going to get a passing grade, these tests are hard. You're getting college credit. You're paying, I think 96 or $100 for it. It's going to be hard. It's supposed to be hard. I prep them. I practice with them. I teach them. I review them. But there's still extra work. If you're looking for something, and this goes with all the classes, if you're looking for something for your son or daughter to do better, have them read their textbook. All right, have them read their textbook, have them review their notes on a daily basis. This is supposed to be a college course, so I treat it the best I can as a college course. Summative are tests and papers. Formative is other things that are practice. So I will prepare them, but it's not like they show up 60 minutes every day, they get a 5 on the test. They show up 60 minutes every day, then read their book, study what I've given them, ask questions in class, work hard studying for tests. That's how they get 4s and 5s and also get A's in the class. All right, so that is some general information, some stuff on me. Like I said, email me if you got any questions, or have your son or daughter talk to me as well. And I hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.